Coastal Radio, DAB, Scotty here with you, and I'm very happy right now. We're going to be talking to an unbelievable songwriter, one of the best songwriters of his time, Mr. Damon Gough, a.k.a. Badly Drawn Boy. Damon, a very, very good afternoon. How are you, my friend?
I feel good after that intro, thank you.
No, you're welcome. You're more than welcome. How's things? Now, listen, I've just been looking online, and I thought that obviously the tour was going to be stopping this year, but you're actually carrying on next year as well, aren't you?
I didn't know about that. You know something I don't know. I'll be doing some more shows next year, but I don't know about the anniversary continuing into another new year.
Brilliant.
We were going to do that at one point. There were going to be some slightly bigger shows announced, but I don't know. Everything's gone a bit weird the back end of this year. So I just said to my management, the shows in March and April had gone so well, and then I did a bunch of festivals throughout the summer, and then I just said, should we round off the year with a few more anniversary shows? It just felt like the right thing to do, and but I think also there's so much going on in everyone's lives, and the Oasis juggernaut is still not that that's affecting us directly now, but I think throughout the year it's kind of been a huge distraction, probably rightly so. But anyway, these last dates are kind of, I just wanted to round off the year with something positive, because there's been a lot of hard things gone on this year for lots of people.
Definitely. Yeah, the world's been a hard place, mate. So it's good to make people smile. Now, listen, 25 years, this anniversary tour. How does it feel all these years later, still to be playing this music and still to be putting smiles on faces with the incredible album, The Hour of the Bewilderbeast? How does it feel for you?
It's a bit of a double-edged thing, really, because I'm kind of like most artists. I'm only really about what comes next in terms of feeling good about yourself. I can't really answer this very easily, because it's like I have to respect Bewilderbeast for what it did for me and for what it means to people.
Yeah.
And when I knuckle down and rehearse these songs again and play them with a new band, it's rewarding in that sense. It's like the way we played in March and April was probably the best way the best the songs have been played with this band I had. But I haven't even got the same band for these final shows. I've got two different people.
Wow.
So it's going to be different again. Alex, my old drummer, is coming. I've not seen him for 20 years, and he didn't play on this album, but he played on a couple of others after Bewilderbeast. So I haven't seen him for 20 years, and he's coming back for these shows, because the drummer I had in March can't do it. It's always breathing new life into the songs is quite an interesting thing. I mean, I saw a guy called Tyson Kelly the other day, a few weeks ago. He was John Lennon in the Bootleg Beatles for 7 years. Don't know if you saw the Bootleg Beatles. Not just because we're talking in Liverpool here, but he's now branched off and doing a John Lennon solo thing. He's left the Bootleg Beatles and he's doing it. And I saw him. I think he played a show in Liverpool on Lennon's birthday in October.
Wow.
And it was like, honestly, one of the most astonishing things I've ever seen. And I'm not likening myself to that, but the notion of breathing life into old songs and keeping them new in the real world. What Tyson was doing with Lennon's catalogue, whether it was Beatles songs that Lennon sung or solo Lennon stuff in his set, it was just incredible. And the musicianship, probably as good as Lennon could have ever been, and his band at the time, without being rude to Lennon's legacy or anything, but it was just the most amazing thing, because he's bringing. It felt like you're seeing these songs now in our lifetime, 30 years down the line or 40 years down the line from Lennon passing away, and just brilliant. So I relate it a little bit to that, like the songs that you do when I play these songs. It's a little bit like that. It's what they sound like now, and there's still a new energy to be found in them.
And I was no, it's a great insight, and obviously playing these songs for maybe people who have never heard them before, and maybe, you know, if you've got parents that love this album first time around, maybe like sometimes they're bringing their kids to listen to this music, so it's brand new ears for your music as well, isn't it?
I hope so, yeah, because that's always a nice thing where music gets passed down generations. I've got kids now who are in the 20s, and I've got two younger little lads as well who are 8 and 4. So I've got 4 kids who span quite a big gap. My daughter's 25 in December and 23 Oscar. So so the stuff that they're into, even just their generation, and then I've got another younger generation below that. And what it fascinates me, what my Oscar's 23, and what he listens to. He's like a fan of like all the stuff I'd be into when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
What in the 90s when I was in my early 20s, and I was into a lot of American indie bands, and Oscar's into bands like Parquet Courts, and obviously Geese at the minute are the big band that everyone's into, and so it's quite a fascinating thing. But for your own music to still stand the test of time, I think when I started out, I didn't really think about it, but I was trying to make an effort to write songs that were kind of almost like standards. Some of them, songs that could be played in another era and interpreted differently in another era by other people. Or I'm not sure I quite pulled that off, but because my roots, I was very much an indie. Growing up on bands like the Smiths, who almost single-handedly invented the term indie music. Really,
yeah, they did.
And then, so that was a big founding factor for me in terms of what I was into as a fan of music. And then my musical taste varied over the years. And but when it came to the 90s and I was trying to set my stall out as to who I was, I had a 4-track recorder, and I was into like lo-fi, which was kind of what the new indie became in those days. Lo-fi is a bit of a difficult genre to actually define, but it was like homemade punk almost was an aesthetic as well. But so once I got through all of that and got over that, I actually realised, no, I need to be a songwriter. I want to write songs that people will still listen to. It's not just on trend. It's songs that I don't just want to be fashionable and trendy. I want to write a song that still matters in 10 years.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So obviously going back to the 90s when you were in your 20s and obviously, first starting out, was it very much like you've just said there, the Smiths, those kind of people? Or, were your influences of a few years before that as well, like people like you just mentioned, John Lennon, the Beatles, that sort of thing? Did you always kind of like love that kind of music growing up?
It kind of a bit topsy-turvy in a way, like, because in the late 70s, when I was 10 years old, 79, I was a massive Police fan, along with my brother Simon, who's no longer with us. He passed away. And so Simon's a massive influence on me anyway, because he's 3 years older than me. So when I was 13, 14, he was 17, 18, and he went to see the Smiths like 50 times or something. And I was pretty jealous. I'd be at home taping stuff off the telly with the first VHS recorder that we had. So that changed my life, a VHS recorder, because I could tape things off Whistle Test and The Tube and watch all these bands. But yeah, I was into bands like the Police were big for me. Then the Smiths were just magnanimous, just such a big band to be into when you're 13 in 1983. And I bought this charming man, Andy Rourke, the bass player of the Smiths, God bless him and God rest him. He ended up playing with me for 2 years on stage. He was my bass player for 2 years, just after I'd released the About a Boy soundtrack. So I toured the world with Andy, Japan, America, Australia, all over Europe twice.
Wow.
So he became a good friend. So that was a dream beyond my wildest dreams realised. I got, getting to know Johnny Marr as well. I never met Morrissey. I'm still fascinated by Morrissey, his solo stuff. He's still an amazing inspiration. But the Smiths were massive. Then Springsteen came along for me as a massive kind of curveball out of nowhere, and took up 4 or 5 years of my teenage life, like getting bootlegs from the 70s of Springsteen concerts. But then in the 90s, when I was 20, in my early 20s, it all changed again, and I was into bands, a lot of American indie bands, like I just said, and whether it was Guided by Voices or Beck was huge when Beck emerged.
Yeah, massive Beck, yeah.
I mean, I got to meet Beck a few times and play a few gigs with him and thank him for his inspiration. He was really grateful when I meant it. I said he changed the face of music for a lot of us. He made me realise I had my own potential, because he'd started his own label kind of thing with Tom Rothrock, which is why I ended up working with Tom Rothrock, because of his work with Beck and Elliott Smith. And the 90s. There's another band called John Spencer Blues Explosion who I saw. See, I'm jumping all over the place here because my mind's going. The amount of music that I used to listen to.
I love it though. That's unbelievable. The journey that you've been through to kind of get where you are is just like the inspirations is fascinating.
Yeah. Well, John Spencer, Blues Explosion was the one that I don't talk about enough, because that literally changed my life overnight. Springsteen changed my life, making me wanted to do something with music. I wanted to be an engineer and record music. So I worked in studios in the late 80s. And then John Spencer had an album called Extra with the song called Afro that was a big hit on MTV or VH1 or whatever it was at the time. So I remember I went to see John Spencer, followed him around the John Spencer Blues Explosion, his band with Judy Bauer and Russell Simmons on drums, and they were just incredible. I saw him at Leicester Princess Charlotte the first day of the tour, and then I drove all over the country to watch them everywhere. I could see them some 8 times on that one tour. And then, so they changed my life, because watching how amazing they were on stage. I was in a band in Bolton that were kind of good, and a great songwriter, Gary Hilton, was the singer-songwriter, and I was playing guitar. But it made me realise I had to do my own thing. So watching John Spencer, I had to tell Gary I was leaving the band. The day after seeing John Spencer, I had to do, and that's when I bought a 4-track and started recording my own songs. I bought the same 4-track Springsteen used on Nebraska. I found one in Luke's.
Wow.
You remember Luke's newspaper that you could see stuff for sale? I was reading through Luke one day and just saw it for sale. I wasn't looking for it. I just saw this Tascam 144 studio for sale, and I thought, wow, I'm going to have to buy that, because I remember the model number on the Springsteen Nebraska sleeve notes. I just went to see the Nebraska film recently as well in London. I was invited to the premiere. Sat behind Bruce watching his own film. Like, it was amazing.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. So listen, Damon, you're on tour at the back end of this year. You're in Liverpool on the 16th of December, and you're also in Preston on the 15th of December, aren't you? Yeah, the
Preston gig has been added as a nice little warm-up. We keep doing that to Preston for some reason. I did it a few years ago. But yeah, the Liverpool show is the first real date of the tour, but the Preston show should be a nice one as well. Liverpool's always on my list. I have to fight sometimes to play Liverpool, if believe it or not, because
I can believe it.
Well, being a Manchester artist, you're doing Manchester. Like in March, we did 2 nights at Aviva Studios, which was the old Granada Studios, and you're doing 2 dates in Manchester. Liverpool tends to get overlooked because it's so near.
Yeah.
So I kind of, over the years, I've always had to say, "Can we do a Liverpool show?" Because I like coming there. I come there anyway, just for days out. Believe it or not, just wander around, or I need to come over and see Ian Brody, because he's back in Liverpool quite a lot now with the studio and stuff, and the choral lads as well. Loads of people in Liverpool that I know and love, and so I always have to fight for a show there. So I'm hoping we can make the Olympia a great start to this little run of shows, because Liverpool's always had a strong connection for me. Not only the music, the people, just the vibe when you get there. It's like nothing else.
No, it really is. I was actually there last Friday in the daytime, and you're literally walking past bars. There's live music everywhere in Liverpool, and it really is just a proper hub of just live entertainment, live music, and people just starting out on the journeys. It is an incredible place, I think.
Oh, well, it always has been. It's kind of just geographically when you drive into it, and it's near the coast, and there's kind of something going on. It feels like something's happening in the air there. It's one of those places.
It is, you're right, you're spot on. Listen, we won't keep any longer. Damon Gough, a.k.a. Badly Drawn Boy, thank you so much for your time. Good luck with the tour, and hopefully we'll see you in 2026 as well.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks. Much appreciated, Scott. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. Thanks, mate.